data and Power BI. Don't forget that the essence of this Power BI mentorship program is for you to become a Power BI developer, not just a Power BI data analyst. And the reason is because that, organizations these days, there's nothing like entry-level role again. It's nothing like that again. It's either you are good or you are not good. That's just the simple way I could explain it. Last time we talked about role context, we talked about filter context, and I told you that there are three things under evaluation context: role context, filter context, and context transition. And I explained to you guys that context transition is when a role value becomes a column filter. It means that what is meant to be your active, your active role, right, now becomes a column filter, now becomes something that we use as a filter, right? So I gave an example the other day that here we want to see the highest sold per customer, the highest sales amount per customer for these different categories. Now let's try and look at the DAX formula that was used. Let me try and expand this so that you can see it clearly. So highest sold category per customer. I told you that what I used to use is the iterator because I want the expression to go to my sales table and calculate for me the total sum of sales for each of the customers, right? Based on the relationship that exists between the customer table and the sales table. Now, the values that I put here in front here is to give me a distinct list of all the customers, because a customer ID will definitely appear several times in the sales table, but because I want it to give me that unique list, or let's say distinct list of customers, right? That is why I am using values. So values, doesn't matter whether a customer appears 2 or 3 times, the customer will only appear once. But if you even look at it, right? If you look at this line of DAX expression here, what you will see is that I'm even referencing the customer ID in the customer table and not the customer ID in the sales table, right? So that is to tell you that what this is going to do is that based on how sales and customer table are related, is going to check through the sales table, do a sum of sales for the customer, right? A cost for the customer, for each customer. It doesn't matter whether they appear several times, right? So, and will return back for us the maximum sales amount. Then by the time we now place that inside this matrix table or this table chart here that I see a table chart that I have here, is now going to give me that amount. So it has transitioned to the proper filter context. And not just only that, another thing is that, right, the active row that I have here, right, determines the result I'm getting here. If I change this category now, I change it from a category to another dimension, the result that I'm seeing here might probably be different. It might be different because of the active rule here determines the answer. So what I'm saying is highest a customer has ever the highest amount a customer has spent, in this different category, the category 01, 02, 03, right? So let's do something. Let's say I remove the category and I want to see the highest a customer has spent on product. I can bring in the product in. Okay, let me expand this. Let me move this like this. So you will see that this is showing the highest. This is the sum of sales, the normal sum of sales. This one is showing. So there's an issue here. This one is showing the highest that a customer has spent in this different. The number. Okay, for some the numbers are not the same. I think it's because of the way the data is. That's why some are the same and some are Not so. This is like the highest a customer has spent, as in per individual customer now, right? The highest amount they've spent on these different products. For some, it is because the highest they've spent is the same thing as the total sum of sales for that product. I think it's this data. It's not meant to be showing like that anyway, but some are there. I see some of the data, some are different. But I hope you understand the logic of what I'm trying to show you here. So let me do something here. Let me just delete this table. I'm going to bring in another one. So let me name this one context transition. Transition. And what so what I will do now is that I'm going to bring in my matrix table. I see that in this table, I don't have a calendar table or a date table. So let me quickly create one. I will click on new table, and I will say calendar equals to, so I usually use variables to create my calendar sometimes, right? So the first variable, before I bring out a variable, I will use VAR. VAR means a variable. I want to, and I will give my variable a name. So this my variable is minimum underscore dates, and what I want to use to create my dates table is based on the highest, the minimum dates in my sales table, right? Oh, what am I doing? The minimum dates in my sales table and the maximum dates that I have in my, so I have order dates and I have ship dates. So I'm going to use the minimum order dates, right? And second variable is going to be the maximum what? Ship dates. Can somebody explain to me why I did this? Why I did minimum order dates and maximum ship dates. Can somebody explain? Can somebody tell me why you think I did it that way? Can anybody try?
To track the time for delivery between the date ordered and the date sent out.
That's not actually what I want to hear.
Okay, let me try.
Why didn't I use order date, min max order date, or why didn't I use min max ship dates? Why did I choose min order date and max ship date? Somebody was saying they want to try.
I want to try Halima. So
Yeah.
other dates, in my own understanding,
Yeah.
is the date that the order was placed on a particular product or something, and then the ship date was the date that it was taken out. So that would be like the end of that transaction.
Yes. End of
so
transaction.
We are looking at the beginning and the end of that order.
Thank you.
So the ship date to be the end of the order.
Thank you. Olubumi.
Yes, sir. I wanted to say so that to capture the full date of the data sets.
Thank you. That's what I want to hear. Thank you. Thank you, Alima. Thank you, Bumi. So anytime you use a variable, you are meant to use the return function to return your like a final expression, right? So you say return, then I will now use the calendar function, the minimum variable that I created for the minimum underscore date, and the maximum that I created. So you see that for calendar, you have start date and end date. Some people used to enter their own manually, right? They will say start date and end date. They will type it out manually. You put calendar, open bracket, dates. They will type the date. But the reason why I like this is because when I refresh my sales table, why I prefer this method is because when I refresh my sales table, right, and I had there are more transactions added to my sales table. This when I refresh the sales table, automatically this calendar table too is going to also get the updated date range because of the adjustment that's happened to my sales table, right? So that's why I usually use mix, min, and max. So I have this now. I can commit this, right? And I have it here. Everybody creates their own calendar table in different ways. This is just one method. So, but it's preferable to create it in where? In your Power Query, right? Okay. So what do I need here again? I need another new column. And the new column that I'm going to now create what we call months, right? So the month is going to be just a month. That will give me the month number, month of the dates in my calendar table, right? And that will tell me 1 to 12. I'll have 1 to 12, right? So what I can do to this one is to say format, or I can put the format in front of this, format the months here to be a 00, because for everyone that doesn't have double number, I want it to show me something like 02, 01, 03, 04, and you will see the reason why I want to do that. Don't worry, it might not make sense to you now, but you'll see. So I put it like this, and I see 02, 02. So 02, 01 to 09. So they will have a 0, like 1 to 9, we have a 0 in front of, instead of just 1 to 9, then 10, 11, 12. And you will see the reason why I'm doing that later. So I open another new column. Is it clear to you guys what I'm doing? Is it clear, guys?
Yes, yes.
Sir, it's not
Okay.
clear to me.
Which part is not clear to you, ma?
Sir, I don't know the other measure you created. I don't know how you came from there to here.
Okay.
And I didn't, yeah,
Is
the
it
measure.
is it the dates column itself or the
No,
month?
not the dates. The one you did where you use some X
Okay,
and
I will go back.
value. Yes.
Oh, the context transition.
Yes.
Okay, don't worry. That's where I'm going to. I want to make it clear to you now.
Okay, sir. No problem.
Yes, so just hold on for me. So month name, right? Month name will be what? Format the dates in my calendar table. Format it as what? MM. Right? Close. I press enter. I have my January to February. January to December rather. Right? What again do I need? What again do I need here? I think I'm okay with this for now. What again do I need?
Year column.
Year column. Thank you. I need the year column. And it's going to be year equals to year of the dates in my calendar table. Close this, I press enter, right? And I have my year. Now I want to do something. What I'm doing now will now make sense to you now. Let me create a new column that will now combine the year and the months together. So I will now say year slash months. Month sort. But I want to use it to sort this table, right? So to now be the year in my calendar table and what? The month in my calendar table. And I press enter. And you will see the year, the month, the year, the month, the year, the month number, the year, the month number, like that, like that, like that, like that. And it will make sense to us later. I'm coming now. So let me have this my table here.
Mr. Linga, sorry.
Yeah.
Don't you think we should have a space in between the year and the month?
No, there's no space, and I will tell you why.
Okay, thank you.
Just hold on for me. So I say year, I put my year here. My year should be under rows. And I also want to see the month name under rows also. So if I expand this like this, I'm going to see year, month, year, month. But my year, month is not well arranged. It's not arranging me for me January to December. So what do I need to do? So I'll go back to that calendar table that I created, and I'm going to go to my dates column here, and I'm going to sort by column, and I'm going to sort by the year, month sort column that I created that has the what's it called? That has the year month combined, right? And I'm going to click on that it should sort by that column. And when I go back, oh, circular dependency was detected. Oh, what can I do? What can I do? Okay. Sorry, it should be the month number that I will sort for. The month name, rather, the month name. Sort by column, then I sort the month name column by year month sort. You can sort the month name column by year month sort. Yeah, it can be more than one value in the year month sorts for the same value in month name. Please choose a different column for sorting or updates. What can I do to sort this?
Yeah, let me stop Inga.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that can't we sort the date by the month number? It automatically what's it called? Sort by
The
what
date
by
the month, but we still have month number repeating now.
no, like what I'm saying is that you click on the date column and then we sort by the month column.
By the month column.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try that. Circular dependency issue again.
The
Because what we want to
Sir,
sort
maybe
out.
you should try.
The month column is in text. You change to whole number, it can work.
Sorry?
The month column is stored as text, not whole number.
Cannot hear you.
I said the month column is stored as text, not a whole number.
Just a phone. Yeah. I think that's the problem. Let me think it's a whole number. Thank you, Jerry. I know that this is how I used to do it, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Okay, let me see now. I'm coming. Let me remove month name. Let me bring it back. It's still not showing me what I want. Hey, this thing can be funny sometimes.
Yes, I mean the month. That's after the date, the month.
Yes.
That one is stored as text. If you change that one to whole number, maybe to be able to sort.
Okay. But this one has cancelled now. So the problem here is I need an 0 in front of this one.
Sorry.
So
what exactly?
Sorry?
Like, what exactly do you want to achieve?
We want to sort the month by year and month. 00.
Okay, you know that you also have to sort it from the Power BI side as well, not just from here, you know.
Yes. So I'm coming. Month name, sort column by year month.
Hi, Mr. Benga.
Sir, what did you say?
Sir, maybe you should.
Continue, please. Continue. Go ahead.
Sir, maybe you should refresh, like remove the charts in the.
Oh, I think I need something else. I
Just
need the
remove
day
and
name.
put it again.
Yeah. Sorry, hold on. I think I need the day name. The day number, rather. I need the day number of the dates in my calendar table. So it's year, month, and day now. Let me see if it's going to now work. It's not, I don't know. How do we do this now?
I think the format function is in the month, converted in month text.
Sorry?
The format function used in the month column converted the month column to text.
But we have it as O number now, see.
Yeah, the format is still text regardless.
So I should remove the format, Daddy. But I don't think that is the problem. I think it's because we've done a sorting before. Should I delete the entire table and redo it?
Sir, I think you should just sort the month by the month name by the month number. So it will return February for a 2 for February.
By the month number. Okay.
Yes, the month name, the
It has
January,
worked. Thank
February
you.
should be so. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Month name by month number. It has worked. Thank you. So now that we have this, the next thing that we are now going to do is to say sum of sales. Our total sales here like this, right? What's the problem? Why am I having the same amount all through?
Your model, sir.
Sorry,
Your model.
there's no in the details.
Okay, my model, Abby. Oh, I'm not connected calendar table. Sorry. That's the new calendar I just created now. Okay. Yeah, let me be fast because of our time. So I'm connecting. This is the tricky part of things. So which of the column am I going to use to connect to sales? Guys, yeah. Which of the column should I use? Is this ship date or the other date?
Order date.
Other date. Why? Other date or why? Okay. It has given me total sales based on order now, and not based on ship data. So let's get the difference clear. For this way I'm going to, guys. So let's say I want to know the highest amount that a customer has spent in a day. The highest that a customer has spent in a day. Of every single how will I explain this? Of every single month. So for every month, there's day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, 6, right? We want to know the highest amount that a customer has paid, or the highest sales transaction amount. The highest sales transaction amount that have occurred in each month in a day. Is that clear to you what I'm trying to say? Like we have day 1 to day 30, for example, in a month. We want to know the highest, right? We want to know the highest. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say new measure, the new measure. My measure will now be highest sales amounts in a day. And I will tell you the logic behind what I'm trying to do. The logic to you understand it. So I will say max X, right? Max X. Max X. And what I want to see is I want to go to my sales table. So say the maximum sales amount. So I can put my, why is this one in 30 cents blocking this thing like this? I can say my total sales, right? Like this, and close my bracket. So now let's see what the result is going to be. So max X means max X is when I was teaching you guys iterators, when I was showing you row context, what did I say about iterators? I said iterators do a row by row evaluation of your expression, right? On a table to go row by row and calculate row by row and give you a final aggregation. Now, I want you to go to the sales table and give me the maximum total sales And when I put that here, I want it to return for me the maximum total sales in a month for the different transactions that we have in a day of a month. Is that, please, can you per month? So what I'm doing here is actually wrong. And I will show you the right one. I will show you the wrong one. If you do it like this, let's see what the result is going to look like. Okay. So there's a way that we are going to confirm this. So whether our result is right or not, there's a way to confirm this. I'll show you guys now. So when I click on this plus here, so let's do this, guys. Let's do this. I'll bring in another matrix table like this. Or let me bring in my slicer. I'll bring in my slicer like this. And I'll put the year and the month name in my slicer. Good. And I will have my what's it called? My matrix table or my table like this. And I'll put the day. Well, I don't have day number. Let me go and do day number in my calendar table. So put new column. So day number is equals to the day of the date in my calendar table. I'll close the bracket. I'll press enter. Right. Okay. So I have the 1 to whatever, depending on the month. So I'll put my day number like this, and I'll put my total sales there like this. So let's go to this is 2014 February now. 2014 February has only day 18. I want the ones that have full months. The full days inside it. If nothing was sold here. This what's it called? Get us a bill. This data that we are using here. Okay, so December 2017 now. Let's say the highest that we've sold in a day, or the day that has the highest transaction. So for December, on December 2nd, that is 2025. That's the highest amount spent in a day in that month, right, of that year. Now let's go back to 2025. Let's go back to our context transition now. Let's look at December 27. It's showing us 750. Now this 750 is not correct. For you to see that it's not correct, that is why we have this. Now, what is going on here? Why is it that it's not correct? I will tell us why. It's not correct because what we are doing here is that we are iterating over the entire sales table, right? We are iterating over what? The entire sales table. And why this will not work is this. I will show you. Let me open a fresh Excel workbook and show you what I'm saying. Why this will not work is because it's iterating over all the transactions. So there are days that appear multiple times in our data. There are days that appear multiple times in our data. And what it will do, what this will do is that, so for example, I have in a month now in my sales table, I have day one. Day one, I have 50, that's one transaction. Sorry, the same day one, I have 20, that's one transaction. The same day one, I have another transaction that I sold something for 300. So so what it's going to do is that it's going to pick the highest for all the transactions, not picking the highest per day. So what it's meant to do is that it's meant to put day one and put a sum of this. It is 370. It's supposed to be day one, 370, right? If I have day two, 10 here, day two again, and I have 150 here. This is wrong with this thing. 150 here, and I have 10 here. What it's supposed to do is that it's supposed to sum up the total sales for each day. That's the logic that we are actually looking for. and now give us the highest from the two here, which is the 370, and it should not give us per transaction per row. Is it clear what I'm teaching here, guys? Do you understand what I'm teaching to this point? Hello, everyone.
Yes,
Is it clear? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
No.
It's not
Yes.
clear. What you said no. So what we are looking for in this context transition is that we want to see the highest sold in a day in that month. And if we put the formula like this is iterating over the entire sales table, and it's not putting a filter. So to get the actual correct amount, what we're supposed to do is to use values, because we are modifying the level of granularity of our answer, right? We want it to transition into the proper filter context, because context transition itself is a row value becomes a column filter, right? So values, and we are going to say calendar dates. That is calendar, each day is in the so calendar dates is what we are supposed to have here, the comma, then after. So it means that instead of it doing it this way, we are giving us the highest per the. Oh, someone said I'm rushing. Let me okay, let me relax a little. Okay, so what happened here is, instead of it iterating over the entire sales table by looking at the highest from the point of view of each transaction, that is not what we want. What we want to see is the highest sales amount spent in a day within a particular month. So what we want to transition our answer into is to give us the logic that what will happen at the back end is that it will, for every day that is repeated, it will sum up all the total transactions for that day and give us the highest from the entire days that we have in that month. Right? From the highest that we have in that month. So instead of the logic being like this, it's supposed to be in this way. So from there, we can say that, the highest that have been spent in January, February, or March is 370 in a day within that month. So now, when I go back to my Power BI now, and I say values calendar table, it means that give me the distinct list of all the dates in that month, and give me the highest that have been spent, right, within the different days that we have in that month. And when I press enter now, let's go and check now. For December, you see now 2017, we now have 2025. That is 2025. If you go back to this page one, you'll see what I was saying, that the day that we sold the highest in December is December 2, and the sales amount for that day, the maximum sales amount per day within that month is 2025, and the same thing we got when we used MaxX together with values. That the values here that are put in front of the calendar date here, it just means that I want it to iterate over my sales table, give me a distinct list of all the dates in that month, and give me the highest total sales, and give me the highest total sales that occurred or that I have in that month, based on the day-to-day transaction. Somebody was lifting up their hand.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah.
I got it now, but the Excel table that you used initially was
Mm-hmm.
kind of confusing, because it was as if you are summing everything that happened per day, not the highest that happened in a day. Okay.
Not the highest that happened in a day. It's the highest that happened in a month per day.
Okay.
Like, this is the logic here. See, look at what I just did in this page 1 now. I have my year months on this slicer, and I want to see the month, the day that I have the highest sales in a month. And it's showing me for December 2017, it is 2nd of December. And the highest amount is what? 2025. Right? That's the logic that I want to see. But if I just put in my formula, if I just, because I have knowledge of iterator, if I just put sales table here, right, it's going to do it per transaction in a month. And that's not what I want to do. That's why we call it context transition, right? Because row context has now changed to filter context, right? An active row value now becomes a column filter. So in each row here now, the month is the active row. Month, year, month, year, month, year. The month is the active row. This month now is now what we are using to modify the result that we want to show here. Right? Because normally when we put our total sales here, just give us total sales per each month and each year based on the active row, that we have in this matrix table, right? But the row value here now is now what we are using to modify our results on this column. Do you understand now, Shegun?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Is there another person that is not clear to? Isaiah. Yeah.
You called me, sir.
Sir?
You called me, sir.
Yeah, I called you because I saw your message.
Okay.
Are people
So
getting?
for me, it's
Yeah.
still not clear, but
Okay.
I think I would have to watch it again because
Okay.
like the
Go ahead.
whole row filter to row context to
value to
filter
column filter.
context, like it's confusing. Yeah,
Is this
yes,
your first time
I
hearing
know
about it?
why. I just don't understand. First time hearing about what?
First time about hearing about context transition.
Yes, sir.
It's your first time. I can bet you that my first
Yes.
time, I didn't get it for like 5 days.
Right now, right now, I am already putting the way my mind is just calculating, like the way you wrote the formula. You wrote it down. It's not following the usual pattern, so
this is not like your
it's
normal sum
confusing
average that
for
you
me.
do.
Not just the normal
It's
sum
not the
average
simple
for
ones that you
me.
do.
It's not, no, yes, I guess so, but the formula I was referring to, the one where you use the calculate and that, I know, it just feels weird for me. Like, when you used, what, can you go back to that formula? Let me just see. Okay, values on customer ID in sum X. I thought sum X is usually as in we use it to evaluate transactional data. Like it usually works that way, but this
Which
time
one?
it feels like
Which one? Sorry.
formula.
I'm showing you the formula now.
Yeah, no, not this one.
Which one?
It's not this one.
Which one?
Oh, okay. I'm still referring back to that one that you did with calculate. So I guess you had changed it.
This one.
Yes. Yes, this one. This one.
Because I put calculator. Let me explain that part to you guys. You see this
No, I
calculator that I
understand
put?
Okay. Yes, I can continue.
Go
Yes, sir.
ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't want it to sound as though I'm dumb. It's just that
No, there's
I'm
nothing like
just
that here. We are here to learn together.
I'm just new to DAX calculations and formulas and all. So my understanding of the way iterator functions work, at least I understand the way it works for some x, average x, but when you are using max x, it seems like you are comparing it with a categorical variable, like a dimensional.
No. Max x. The way you have sum is for summing, right?
Yes.
Average is for average, right?
Yes.
Max is just like the way you use your normal max.
Yes. Yes.
Maximum of a value of a column, maximum value in a column.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So is it the max x now that is confusing you?
Okay. So we cannot be saying that. Yes. That's what
Let me explain again. Let me explain
using
for the last time.
Like this in this way.
Okay. Let me explain again for the last time, so everybody will understand what I'm doing here. Do you understand what I did here up to this point? How I brought in this year and month in my slicer. You understand that, right?
Yes, I do.
Please don't stop muting yourself, please.
To this point.
Because I want to ask the question.
Okay, sir.
Now, and I have another table here that shows me my total sales for the different days in this December that I'm choosing. I'm using December as an example. Now, let me do the normal day they have. Now, you see that in all my December transactions, the highest I've ever sold in a day is how much? 2025. Or let me use 2014. Let me pick 2014.
Yes.
Let me pick February. This one has only one day. Okay. March has 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 days of transaction. Now, you will see that in March 2014, these are all the days I had transaction. And the highest amount that you see here is how much? Salome. Highest amount you see that I've sold in a day is how much?
2,505.
Thank you. 2,505. Is that the same 2,505? The same thing I want to return in this context transition page that I have here. So, because if I just put in my total sales, I cannot modify the expression to give me in that particular way. Because all I can put here is my total sales. How am I going to get this same thing that I got here by clicking on the slicer and putting the day number and getting total sales and now saying, oh, this is the day I have the highest to December, March 2031, and I have 2,505. How am I going to return that same amount here in this matrix table? Now, let me now explain my formula again. What I want to do, don't forget that there's a relationship between calendar and the sales table, right? The logic that I want to now bring in here is that if I should put sales, you know that we were used to saying, we understand iteration, right? We know that it will go row by row. And I'll put just sales like this here. The problem with this is that this is not going to give me my results because I'm not telling it to give me highest per day in a month. I'm telling it to give me highest sold per all the table transactions in my sales table. Because of the max X sales table, give me maximum total sales by iterating over the sales table. This one is actually not bad, but this one is per transaction. But I want it per day. That is why I want it to transition my results into the proper filter context. What I want to do is that because I want it to be per day in a month, the highest sold per day in a month, right? That is why I now have to use values the logic behind values is that values will now give me a list of all the days that I have in that month. It will iterate and give me the sum of my total sales per each day in that month. That's why I now showed you this Excel table, that what it will do is, instead of doing it per transaction like this, row 1, row 2, row 3, because if I do this way, it means that it's going to give me 300 here as the maximum total sales. Abi, but because there are the days are repeated because several customers bought on the same day, right? That's not what I want. I want it to give me the total maximum highest sales in a month, breaking it down by day first, and now give me. So it's going to now sum up all the total sales per day in that month, and now give me the maximum total sales based on the distinct list of all the days I have in that month. It will now go over and give me the total, the maximum highest. So if it is day 10 that has the maximum highest sales, it will now give me the value of what I have in that day 10, because day 10 is the day that I have the highest sales in that month.
Okay.
Is it clear now, Salome?
I understand. Yes, it is. It's
That's
very.
why you see that when I use sales. Sorry?
I say you've answered my question.
That's why you see that when I use sales, the max is iterating over the sales table. It means that's the entire transaction. But when I put values, I mean that I want you to modify the level of granularity that my result should produce. That is that expression should produce. Do you understand? You should modify it to the day level. So the result you are seeing for the year now, it is the highest I've sold in that year. And the month I sold that highest is September. See, 41335, 41335. The month I sold the highest in 2014 is what? It's September. Have you seen it now? Do you understand what it means now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, I do.
If I want to see the minimum, what will I do? Sorry?
I said, I hope you are recording the class.
Yeah, class is recorded.
Okay.
I support it.
What is the lowest amount sold in a day? Sold in a day. So how will I do that, Salome?
So you use min X.
Min X, yes.
Values.
Values. Values what?
Calendar.
Calendar. Just calendar, I mean.
Calendar dates. Thank you.
Calendar dates. Why am I using calendar dates?
So you wanted to the granularity, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you wanted to
Is that
go
how you
to
explain it to your boss? The granularity.
No, you want the day value, like the day you want. Yes, you want the day, the day of the dates.
The day of the month.
Sorry, the day of the month.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Okay, so the next would be calculate on sales.
Calculate on sales. I don't understand you.
No, sorry.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Can somebody help her out, please? Those are our time.
Total sales.
Total sales.
Total sales. Thank you. And with this now, I can get the lowest amount sold in a day in a month, right? Put this here now, and I can see the lowest amount sold. That my title is somehow. Not the lowest amount sold, lowest sales amounts in a day. Yeah. In a day. So you can see the highest, you can see the lowest. This is a metric for your stakeholders. So let's now go back to something. Isaiah.
I want to ask that now.
Yeah.
You've computed lowest sales amount in a day. So we're going to compute it for months, Inko.
I don't understand.
Like, this
month
is like
in a year, Abby.
Yes.
Month in a year.
Yes.
Okay, we can also do that. Before we go and do that, let me quickly show you guys something. So in my formula, I use total sales because I already have the measure. What if I don't have total sales measure yet? What will I do?
Some. Let
me look at what my total sales is unit selling price times quantity. That's my total sales. So what will I do if I don't have the total sales yet? So what I will do is to say calculate. My expression is now what? Why is it not bringing it for me? I'm coming, guys. Hold on, sorry. My total sales. I can say some, can copy this, go back here, paste it. Right, you see now, my expression, now there's a problem. You see, this is my results. You see that it's not correct. So anytime you don't have the measure already there, right? You don't have it there the way I put my total sales there in front of that, or you don't have your measure already somewhere the way I have total sales. When you write the expression, just make sure you put calculate in front of it. Calculate in front of it, right? You close your bracket here again, and you press enter. And you see that it has now transitioned to the proper answer again. So what this one will do, let me explain it this part again so that you'll not be confused. Let's just assume that I don't have my total sales measure somewhere. I'm calculating it inside of this place, right? What I will do is that if I just put the calculation like that, and I didn't put calculate in front of it, it's not going to transition it to the proper filter context that is meant to transition it to. So that's how you know that calculate is very, very powerful, right? Because calculate can modify filter context, right? It can modify your filter, right? Now, how do you know that calculate is very, very powerful? This is how we are going to know. When I go to my table, for example, I have my sales table here. I think I showed you this thing last week, right? I did a sum of sales based on this sales column here. Okay? I returned sum of sales. And what happened was it was returning the total for this sales column for all the rows. If I now want to return the exact amount I have per row, to transition it very well, I have to put calculate in front of the sum. So instead of giving me the total sum of that sales column per row, it's giving me the same thing per row in this table, and that's not proper transition, right? I'm going to calculate in front of the sum of sales column, and it will return back for me the same value that I have in this my sales column, row by row. So that is why you see that if you don't put calculate, if you are the ones spelling out the expression by yourself here, you have to put a calculate in front of your expression for that proper transition to happen. Is it clear? Is it clear, guys?
It is well.
I think you guys have to go back to the video to watch it, I guess.
I'm lost in between. This
which part, sir?
This part where this thing is quite confusing. This part where we sum total sales and we are summing it individually by row. Plus,
that one is just to show you how calculate works. Because I was explaining it's why you need to put calculate in front of this expression here. It's just to show you how calculate is powerful and how it works. That's why I'm showing you that one.
I understand this one. I know this one. Not even this one. The total sales itself. You know, we have two total sales. One total sales.
No, I'm saying that if you don't have total sales already there, you don't have your measure there before. That is how you are going to put calculate in front of it. It's for proper.
Okay, what about that total sales? That total sales too. That you now have to add calculate to it. Sum of sales, then you add calculate to it.
Which one is total sales too? This one.
Exactly. No, not this.
No, this one now is one I was showing you iterators now. That if you don't need to create a column first and now sum up the column for your total sales. That with iterator you can just multiply the two columns together and it will give you the aggregate value. So the essence of showing you this one is to tell you that if you don't have.
Mr. Finger, I think I understood what I mean.
Okay.
Like the formula, the formula for the total sales initially, it was sum of sales units selling price multiplied by sales, sum of sales quantity, right?
Yeah.
So he was saying that how come inside this expression
come again at some point
now
your voice
you have to calculate. Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I think what he was trying to say was that initially the formula for total sales was sum of units selling price at times sales quantity, right? Can you hear me? So he was saying that how come when we use that total sales inside this formula we call the right answer, but now we have when we now have to calculate that measure, so we now use calculate inside this expression now. You get? So he wasn't saying that how come when we use calculate we now got it, but when we now use the sum of sales selling price times sales quantity, we got the we got the wrong answer. You get my point now?
Okay, good, thank you. The reason is because if you use only this one, without the calculate, as I explained earlier, what is going to happen is that it's going to see it as your expression is summing for the entire transaction on your sales table. How best can I explain this? I know what I want to say, but the explanation is the problem for me. So,
Mr.
if you just do,
yeah, I understand. I understood you, Mr. But sorry, please. Can we go back? Can we go back to that total sales formula?
This is the formula already. There's nothing to go back there. This is the formula already. Sum of multiplying unit price by quantity.
What's it called? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, this same thing. So how come when we now brought that total sales inside this particular expression, we got the wrong right answer? But now when we now use that thing individually,
understand it this way. Understand it this way. Don't trouble yourself. Don't overthink. When you are the one spelling out the expression, put a calculate in front of it. If you already have the measure somewhere, use only the measure. Is that clear to you, Abdulsamad?
Yeah, I got it, Mr. but I'm just trying to explain what he was trying to say. You understand?
No, I understand. You. I don't. For now, I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to dabber your head. If you are the one spelling out the expression by yourself, you don't have the expression with that sales somewhere before. Put a calculate for proper transition to the right filter context. That's why I went on to this sales table and showed you an example that if I just do a sum of sales column, this sales column here, for every row is returning the total for every row. But for proper transition, when I put calculate, it now returns the same results for each row, the way it's supposed to return it per row. That is the same logic of how it works here. If you do the sum of this, is returning the total sum. But if you do calculate, it will return the sum as per transitioning it to the filter context that we have, which is to see the minimum sales amount in a day of a month. Is it clear now, guys?
Yeah. Right.
Thank you, guys. Right. See you next week, Saturday. The time will be communicated to us. So we'll have Saturday and Sunday. And I'll communicate the topic that we are going to treat. Thank you, everyone. Any comments, any subtraction, multiplication, addition?
That's just become more serious.
It's to become more serious with your doubts. Yeah. I'll share some textbooks with us. Thank you, everyone. My captains can wait behind. You can go.